Hey everybody, this is Chelsea Schaefer.
And Caitlin Gustov.
And this is The Score, the official podcast of the sport of team roping. This is the Team Roping Journal's semi-weekly podcast highlighting the team roping industry's top talent and influencers through stories that inspire and connect ropers. We sit down with ropers from the professional ranks as well as industry icons and producers to delve into topics that make the team roping world tick. This is Season 2. It will feature even deeper interviews, storytelling, and issue-based coverage, and we are so excited you're here. This episode is brought to you by the Walt Woodard Ropers Collection by MetaLab. We'll tell you about it later in the episode. Brenten Hall, who turned 20 this June and hails from the tiny town of Jay, Oklahoma, has had some pretty big success the last few years of his teenage roping campaign. He finished 2018 as the reserve champion, Resistol Rookie of the Year, and finished just outside the top 15 in the PRCA World Standings. The year before, he won second in the number 15 World Series of Team Roping finale with Rance Doyle, pocketing $61,000 alone for that win. And that was the year after he took the title in the same event to the tune of $75,000. Now living in Stephenville, Texas, Hall's the young gun that the three-time NFR healer Chase Tryan believed in enough to rope with for a second year in a row. That's a leap of faith that paid off in a big way, with a return trip to the finals for Tryan and a debut appearance in the Thomas & Mack for Hall. Now I've got a confession. Sometimes I dread interviews with hotshot young ropers who have known nothing but success, great horses, and the spotlight their whole careers. I didn't really know if Brenten Hall would be any different. But I was more than pleasantly surprised by this young talent and the grace and charisma he possesses. I'd watched him practice for a couple hours before we talked, and I've got to say, this kid has earned all of the accolades and praise that he gets. Now, here is first-time NFR header Brenten Hall. Hi, Brenten.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good. So, welcome to the Score podcast.
All right, thank you.
Welcome to being an NFR qualifier.
Oh.
Has it sunk in?
No, it hasn't. It hasn't yet. I still don't feel like an NFR qualifier. I still feel like a 20-year-old kid.
You still are a 20-year-old kid, but
Yeah.
You're a 20-year-old kid that made the NFR, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that'll work. That's a good way of putting it.
Okay. Give us your history, because we don't know you. Tell me, you are from Jay, Oklahoma. What was life like as a kid?
Life in Jay, we don't do much. We don't do much. We have 2,400 or 2,500 people, I think. One stoplight at a good Mexican restaurant. That's about, as a kid, there
Does
wasn't
it
a whole
say
lot to
home
do.
of Travis Graves when you
No.
walk in? No?
No.
They don't even make a big deal about you guys?
No, they don't. It's home of Tommy Morrison, Tommy the Duke Morrison. He was a heavyweight boxer back in the day, and I think there is a sign in town that says home of Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't say nothing about me and Travis.
No?
We're kind of bystanders.
So Travis was probably already gone by the time you started roping, right? Was he?
Yeah. What's crazy about that? Or I say it's crazy, but my mom and dad actually but Travis grew up, and my mom and dad actually roped with Travis a lot as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
My mom roped with him when he was starting out and getting better, and then when he got better, like him and my dad roped in some of the open ropings.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he was gone though by the time I was
Mm-hmm.
growing up. I was about
And
21.
your parents were ranchers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my mom and dad, they own a place. It's 1,000 acres back home in Jay.
Gotcha. So run a bunch of cows, horses?
We run Black Angus cattle. Run about 250 head on 1,000 acres. That's about 250 to 280 is about all you can hold up there on that land pretty comfortably.
So did you go to high school? Were you homeschooled? What was
I went to public school until I was in the 8th grade. I played basketball. It was the only reason I stayed in public school. And about that time, I was realizing basketball wasn't really going to be it for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I started homeschooling, and then from there on out, it was pretty much from 9 to 12, do schoolwork, and then step outside and get to practicing.
So what was your arena like at home? And who practiced with you?
Well, it's great. What's different about it is I actually didn't start team roping until I was I did team rope, but I quit. I healed when I was younger. Like, the first thing I ever roped was a steer. First thing I ever healed was behind Kevin Daniels, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was maybe 8. I didn't really I roped when I was younger, and then I got bucked off when I was 5, and I quit for 3 years. And then I started back around there. I roped calves I only roped calves until I got the paint horse, actually, until I got captain. And that was in the 8th grade, I think. 8th grade, and I got him as a heel horse. So as growing up, we had a little indoor shed. It was 20 feet wide. I think it was 180 long, and that's all I did. I roped calves in there. And then once I bought the paint horse, we had an arena at the place, just a little ways from the barn, and it was a nice, just outdoor, regular arena, and that's where I practiced every day. I would practice with the Smalls. Zach Small made the finals a few years back. That family, I would rope with them during the winter because they had a nice building. They were about 30 minutes away, and then they would come to my house during the summer and rope with me because it was too hot in their building.
And so we have a lot to cover there, but you guys paid just a fortune for captain, right?
Yeah, yeah, fortune. He actually came from the slaughter sale at the Tulsa Stockyards. I don't know how old he was when they got him there, and then he went through quite a few hands. Jake Clay, which is one of my buddies growing up, we roped together forever. He had him. He didn't own him, but he had him, and I bought him from them for not much of a fortune. Felt like a lot at the time, but once I started winning on him, it wasn't much. But yeah.
So did your parents haul you to the U.S. Ropens? To what kind of ropens? Or did you junior rodeo or a little of everything?
I junior rodeoed, and then once I got old enough to go to like the junior high school rodeos and then the high school rodeos, I did both of those. And I went to U.S. Opens mainly, I would say. There wasn't really, the World Series wasn't that big around us back then. U.S. Opens were pretty big though. Like we would go to Mulvane, Kansas, and then Fort Smith, Arkansas, Tulsa, Guthrie. Every time they had a good rope at Guthrie, we'd go there. But yeah, I actually, when my dad got sick, when I think I was 16, my dad got sick, I started hauling with a family right down the road, Passmores is their name. Griffin Passmore, Jamie is his dad. Jamie and Alicia, they're a great family, but they kind of hauled me around. They took me to some Indian rodeos and the jackpots a lot, and then the Clays took me some. It was good.
The World Series finale. Which year did you win the 15?
2016.
So 2016 was a big year because nobody can obviously see what you just did, but you just looked at your belt buckle.
Yeah,
is a U.S. buckle.
Yeah.
So that was a big year.
Yeah, that was a great year for us. For me, I guess I shouldn't say us. Jake's not sitting here because he was with me during all of that. It was a great year. We won quite a bit. I had high callback in the 15 shootout at Oklahoma City with Jake. And Chance Thiessen had second callback, which was another cool part because Chance and us were good buddies. I think Chance was roping with Trey Yates there. And he ended up winning pretty good there, I think. But me and Jake were high callback, and he takes all the blame for it, but I kind of gave the steer's head back, and he roped a leg to win that. But later on that week, I won the 12th shootout with a guy named Buddy Bledsoe, who never heals, and somehow he might get mad at me for saying this, but he caught 4 steers by 2 feet, and he can tell you himself that it never happens, and he did it, and it was a good deal. He won second in that rope and heading too. He heads for the most part. But yeah, it was 2016. I won it. Me and Jake Clay actually ended up second callback at Vegas, and Chance Thiessen was first callback with Jace Crab, sorry. And me and Jake won it, and Chance and Jace won second. So it was a pretty good year for us three.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And how, you can tell me you don't want to talk about this, but how, time-wise, how close was that to your dad?
Well, I remember, gosh dang, how old was I then? 2015 it would have been, because I just turned 16 when my dad passed away, I think. Man, it's been a while, but so I don't really, I just turned 16. He passed away on August 2nd that night, and my birthday's June 11th. I just turned 16. So it'd been about a year or so after I found out that my dad had what they thought was kidney cancer in February of 2015 which was, I don't know, what's that, 5 months beforehand. I found out he had kidney cancer is what they thought he had. And then he went for a checkup, see how everything was coming along, and find out how much, what he was going to have to do to clear it out. And they found out it actually wasn't kidney, it was pancreatic, which at the time I was not. I've had a lot of family members that had cancer, and most of them have actually survived it and beat it. But I did not know much about it, per se. I didn't know that pancreatic cancer was the same thing Lou Field had. is the only cancer that there's literally no cure for.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if it goes good, you get 2 years max. So I found out that was about the same time the Passmores were hauling me around a lot and stuff like that, and they were taking me to ropings. I think I was a 4-header at that time, but I'd been probably a year or so before that.
So that was, how much did that change everything?
It was deflating. It was deflating. My dad was by far my best friend in life. He was everything that I wanted to be growing up and counted on at any given moment that I could go talk to him about anything. We never got in fights. Still miss him. But it was very deflating. I'd always dreamed of growing up and doing big things. I say that I probably sat around for 2 weeks after he passed away. The night that he passed away, I just got home. I say this, Jake Clay never loses. He's the winningest little sucker you ever meet. He won the truck and trailer at Glen Rose. They had a truck and trailer roping there, and I was with them. And he won the trailer. He was going to have to stick around. And that night, I was pretty sick, which I didn't even know what sick was, I guess. But I thought I was sick. So I went home with the Smalls, and they brought me home. And that was the night that my dad passed away. But it was a very deflating feeling for the family. Very deflating. Just kind of stopped you in your tracks. I didn't want to do anything for a while, but I kind of made myself get back to roping. I quit roping calves. I was still roping calves up until that point, and I completely quit roping calves. For one, I didn't have any shoot help, and for two, I hadn't team roped that much, and going back to the calf roping, every time I went and roped a calf, it just felt weird to me to not have my dad there with me. So I started team roping a little more because I felt like it was kind of, which is what he did. He headed and he tripped steers his whole life, and roped calves as a young kid. But it felt right. It felt more right to be team roping at that time instead of calf roping. It felt like I was doing something I shouldn't be doing without somebody calf roping. So I went to the team roping. It was better.
Gotcha. Did your dad know your dream of making the NFR? Like, was that a joint dream?
Yeah. He'd always told me, as a young kid, he said, because my dad honestly was very, very talented. Had just as much. I say God-given talent because I think everything in this world's God-given. So, my dad had a lot of God-given talent, but he always said that he didn't set his goals high enough. He grew up, I'm not saying poor by any means, but not in a wealthy family where he could run off and follow his dreams per se. But he always just told me to never set your dreams low, always set them high, because he didn't set his high enough. So I would say it was a huge goal of both of ours to do it. And he told my mom, he told my mom as he was getting sick that if I would keep my nose clean and keep down on the grindstone, that I could do it. So I guess he was right. Eventually, he had a good eye. He's a smart guy.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
This episode of The Score is sponsored by the Walt Woodard Ropers Collection by MetaLab. It's a comprehensive system of bits that are tailored to fit each horse's age and temperament at each level of his development. From O-ring and D-ring snaffles for novice horses to shank snaffles and correction bits for those with more experience, the Ropers Collection will efficiently move a horse through training from beginner to polished competitor. You can learn more about the Walt Woodard Ropers Collection at www.partrade.com. That's PARTRADE.com.
So fast forward then to your rookie year last year.
Yes, ma'am.
How big of where does your rookie year fit on the scale of, like, if 1's disappointment and 10 is success? How did you feel about your rookie year? You got your partner to the NFR.
Rookie year was about if I look at, so that was my rookie year. My permanent year, I went with Casey Stipes, and we went to, I think, 12 rodeos, and I won $400 total out of those 12 rodeos. I didn't have a horse I really liked. So if I look at it from that year to my actual rookie year, because I went to 12 circuit rodeos, if I look at it from that year to my rookie year, I would say it's a 10 out of 10 on successes.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Because I did so terrible and had such high expectations. But if I look at it as now as my rookie year in a whole, I would say it was probably a 6 out of 10. I did way better than I shouldn't say way better than I expected. I expected to do good, but to have a chance to actually make the finals, my whole goal was just to win the Rookie of the Year, which didn't happen. Jeff Flanagan's a roping sucker. Can't take that away from him, little son of a gun. But, congrats to him about that. But
you guys were close, though.
Yeah, and it was a close race, and I like Jeff, so I couldn't be mad about any of it whatsoever. And we both had good years for our rookie years coming out. So I'd say it's a 6 out of 10 probably, because it was successful because I got Chase Tryan to the NFR, and he's such a tight friend of mine, my partner, which love the guy to death, great guy.
I think you couldn't, I was excited that I didn't know you, but I was excited that you were the one that got Chase to the finals because Chase has been busting his tail like crazy. What has your partnership meant to you with Chase?
I can't say enough good things about it. I didn't, you never know. I guess you meet people and they become really tight friends of yours. You never know you're going to be so tight with them, or they're going to be one of your best friends until you meet them. But you never, I hear stories about partners sneaking around the trailers, trying not to see their partner, ignoring phone calls, just don't want to be around them. And I call him about everything. Everything we do is great. I love roping with Chase. He's been a great partner for me. He kind of runs the reins he kind of rides the horse, and I'm just hanging on the back. So I just have to spin steers. If I spin steers, he's happy. He'll take care of the rest of it.
Now, we talked about Captain briefly. That's the horse that you won the 15 on.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that also the horse that you said the year you won $400 wasn't quite good enough?
No.
No?
He was hurt that whole year.
Gotcha. Okay.
He
I was wondering if you were just hating on Captain.
No, I can't hate on him. Most people, they associate the paint horse with me. Like every time I come up to somebody, where's the paint? If I'm riding a different horse. So I enjoy the paint so much. He's a good horse. Captain's a good horse, but he's not a special individual whatsoever, but he's a winner. He's a really big winner. I had a different paint horse that's a good horse. Anthony Lucia has him now, but I just didn't get along with him.
What's the bay that you won Puyallup on?
That's Time Bomb. He came from the Smalls. Courtney Small. Courtney Kreitz, now she got married. But she is incredible with horses. I don't know if enough people know that. If she spends time with one, she'll make them good. Zach might not want me telling you this, but if every time son would get to acting up, he'd send her home, and Courtney would take care of him for him. So, she's great with him. He's a good horse. Not very many people get along with him. I kind of had I don't know. He's kind of spoiled. He's real mean acting horse. He don't like people at all. That you can't give him shots. Can't deworm him. If he gets hurt, he's on his own. You just can't. You really can't do about it. They tried to. I can't remember what they did. Tried to do his teeth one time. Tried to give him a shot in the main line. He cleared the stock racks that they put him in. He's a wild animal. So you kind of gotta love him for what he is, because you can't change him. He pawed some people down hard. Gosh dang, but he's been an awesome horse to me. Awesome horse.
What would you be doing now if you weren't rodeoing? Was there another option for you?
Yeah, I think there was. I do a little bit of leather work, make belts and stuff like that, which I'm not saying nothing against that profession whatsoever. It's hard work, and I don't know if you make enough money. You have to really work hard at it to make a lot of money at that. But it's the same way with rodeo. You have to work hard to make money at that. If you don't rope good, you're not going to win enough. But successful Plan A's. I heard an article. I don't know who wrote it. It might have been y'all, actually. But where Trevor said successful Plan A's come from not having a Plan B. And I'm a firm believer in that. If you have a Plan A, stick with it until it's done. And if it don't ever work out, you didn't try hard enough, because you can do anything if you want to.
So goals for this year's NFR?
I haven't even said any yet. I guess if you're going to ask me right now and I had to tell you, I'd want to walk out there with the gold buckle. I don't know if it's in the Ponzi or the scheme of it this year, but sure love to. But I'd like to get out of there with some good money. I need, I don't know. I bought my place down here when I was, I guess at a fairly young age. I was 18 going on 19 when I bought my first place, so it would help pay off the place.
Absolutely. Goals for beyond this year's NFR. What's your goal for next year? Are you a goal setter? Do you write down goals? How do you deal with goals? And then what are your goals, long-term team roping goals?
I swear I don't have any. I know it's wrong. I just want to do good and have fun. Yeah, if I'm winning, I'm having fun. I'm not. I have fun when I'm not winning too, because I'm a big life person. You don't have fun in life, life's not worth living. So have fun with it, no matter what you're doing. If you're doing bad, slap a smile on your face and keep walking. But I've never wrote down goals per se. I guess I'm more of a leader, or not a leader. Sorry, a follower. Kind of chase inners and stuff, and I just go to the rodeos and rope. So I do. I like roping. Love roping with Chase. So whatever me and him want to do together, I guess the goal is to just keep making the finals every year and keep getting a better team. Every time we win, it's more fun. So.
Do you get nervous? Are you a nervous person?
No. I always said that if you put me against the wall, I'll rope better than I ever have. So if I got money, I might as well spend it, because it ain't gonna help me. If I ain't got a dime in my pocket, I can guarantee I'm gonna spin you a good steer. I feel like I'm unbeatable at the one-headers that are worth 10,000. The San Juan, stuff like that, I love those rodeos. I feel unstoppable.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, heck yeah. So this year, or round 1, what horse are we going to see you on?
Everybody wants me to ride the paint. Everybody I've talked to, he's going to ride the paint. The paint's awesome. He just turns. But if you catch me on anything besides the Bay, Time Bomb, I'll be surprised, and y'all should be surprised too.
Are you you said Time Bomb's a little bit of a wild animal. Is Time Bomb the kind that you can ride in the Grand Entry and then ride in the perf, or no?
Not a chance. I don't even want to ride him. If we were to win the round, I don't even want to ride him in the victory lap.
You're going to grab a pickup horse?
Yeah, I swear, if they'll let me, I'll do it. I would rather ride something that's going to buck the whole arena than him in a victory lap. He's terrible. Puyallup, he did it to me. We didn't have to take very many victory laps this year, but Puyallup and Walla Walla, we had to take victory laps there, and it was terrifying. I had to yell at him, shut the gates both times, because I can't stop him.
Patrick was like that with Amigo. Patrick had to...
Yeah, that's where I can't. It's terrifying. He gets to climbing and bouncing, his front feet hit above his ears. It's scary.
Oh,
I don't like being involved in it. So, yeah, the paint, you can probably count on the paint being in the victory lap. Or not the victory lap, the Grand Entry.
The Grand Entry.
Yeah.
What moment are you most looking forward to? Backing into the box, the first Grand Entry?
I don't know. I'm so big into just enjoying every little moment in life, because you never know when stuff's going to get taken away from you. I think that's from certain circumstances that have happened to me growing up. I don't think I was ever like that until my dad passed. But since then, I've learned to, every little thing that happens, enjoy it, because you never know when it's not going to happen again. So not saying this would happen, but I could break my arm not to get to go to the finals, whatever it is. I could fall, get paralyzed, be in an accident, whatever, where I was never able to go to the finals again. So I'm just going to enjoy every single part of it.
Is your mom going to be there?
Oh yeah, every night. From the time I get there, she'll be there. From the time I get there till the time I leave, she wouldn't miss it.
Have you gotten any advice about going to Vegas? Anything that you're going to listen to? Anything you're not going to listen to about how to conduct yourself, or how to practice during the day or not practice?
I haven't. I kind of roll on my own. I roll on my own schedule a little bit. I don't really. I never had a lot of people telling me how to rope growing up. I have my own kind of style of how I do things, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Could be way wrong. Could be way right. I don't know. But I prefer to kind of lay on my own. I don't like being in the party scheme whatsoever. It's not me. I'm kind of a loner. I do like being alone, so I haven't really got a whole lot of advice. The only thing Destiny told me, if they let you, if your room don't have a balcony, you ought to upgrade it. So
that's some sound advice.
Yeah.
Sound advice. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much
you.
for letting
Thanks
me
for having
crash
me.
your practice session.
Oh, she didn't crash yet. Just made Chase unwrap steers by itself. Worked out good for me.
Wonderful. It's good for Chase.
Yeah, he needs to do something a little on his own. He ain't used to it.
Thank you very much, Brent.
You bet. Thank you.
Remember, this episode was sponsored by the Walt Woodard Ropers Collection by MetaLab. Comprehensive system of bits tailored to fit each horse's age and temperament at each level of his development. Check out cardrape.com to learn more about the Walt Woodard Ropers Collection.